We decided that we will start in English, that we start this first talk, what we are doing today with Katja in English. Hi Radenko, I see that you are looking and we are really excited. So it's a little bit like a premiere for us. Normally we would have been in the position at the moment to be after the fair, so after the Art Cologne fair, which is of course for us always the highlight of the year, to do the fair and to meet all the people and to show to everybody the art that we have and to be in exchange and of course to sell a lot of works for if everything works very well. And today Katja and I, we feel a little bit like going to a fair, so but just virtually. And we decided that we do a series every Friday to pick one artwork that we love very much, to promote it and to give the people to buy it really on our web shop. So we have a web shop since 2013 already, and so therefore this is the first time that we're doing this, but with a talk together. So I will show a little bit of the way of to the artwork, to the gallery. So here's our current exhibition on Equal Terms 2. Katja Huppertz.
Welcome.
And the work by Charlotte Tribus, work by Johanna Reich. And we go upstairs to the next level. Work by Rudolf Bonnevi and Astrid Klein from 1904, and a work by David Zinki. And here it is. Today we would like to speak with you about this piece.
Yeah, this is a watercolor made in 2019. And it's from a wonderful series of works by Radenko, which is called Endless Movie. It's a portrait of a famous Italian actress, Monica Vitti.
It's very difficult to see because there is the reflection.
Yeah, but we can take it out of the frame in a moment, and then we can see it from every angle. Because we have the advantage to be able to stand really in front of the work and to touch it and to feel that it's not just something flat or something virtual or two-dimensional, but it's really a sheet of paper and there is paint on it and you can turn it around and it has been touched by the artist, so we get really this wonderful feeling to speak to it or to meet such a work of art in flesh and bones, if you want, in paint and paper in this case. It's watercolor on paper, even if it looks like a photograph. That's because Radenko always paints from photographs, or in this case from film stills.
Katja, gehst du ein bisschen näher ran? Can you go a little bit nearer to the work? So that's nice, thank you. Why have you chosen this work? What was the idea of taking this one?
We chose this one.
No, you choose it.
I like it very, very much.
Yeah.
Maybe there's maybe a general choice, but also always a personal choice, and that's typical for works by Radenko. So me personally, I'm a big fan of the history of cinema, and so is Radenko. So during my studies of art history, I watched a lot of classical movies, and this is a famous classic from 1960 by Michelangelo Antonioni. It's a still from a movie L'Avventura, The Adventure. And Monica Vitti became really a star with this movie. And it's from this movement of neorealistic Italian films after World War II. Italy invented really a whole new language of movie and movie making. and it's an enigmatic film. It's this is what also is so beautiful in this work, because Radenko really captures a moment, a still, where we see all this mystery and this this guessing about what's going on with this beautiful young woman. And Monica Vitti as an actress, or in the roles which made her famous, was always this enigmatic young woman in search of something, in search of love, in search of a future, in search of maybe her place in the world. It's also a period in Italy where these filmmakers questioned a lot this mental state of the country and mental state of the time. It's a bit typical for what we show in the gallery with PRISKA all the time. Art from periods of social changes and cultural changes and technical changes. So there's a lot in this image, but also it remains very open, so it makes us dream. She looks into a direction which we cannot see, so it's open to everything what we want to see, not only this watercolor, but also this kind of movies.
I think it's a work that gives a lot of hope, and at the same time it's a little bit sad, so it's a little bit like melancholic, but you have this beautiful painted hands here, and you have this fantastic eyes and this expression in the future looking. So it reminds me a little bit like Radenko, like the young pioneer that is looking forward, and so it's. When Katja proposed that we take this work, I said, oh yeah, that's fine, because it's a work that is giving hope. And Radenko especially, he's very, very concentrated often as well on working on works that show the like University of Disaster. So what he did at the Biennale, the last one
in
Venice, where he was showing
2017.
In 2017 exactly, where he was showing University of Disaster, 4 big works. I will show them to you. Maybe we take this here, Katja.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I would like to unframe it, because it was so difficult to see for the people. So this is the catalog of University of Disaster in 2017. And Radenko has his exhibition at the Bosnian Pavilion. And here these are 4 works that he was showing there. Big panels, 2 meter by 1 meter 40, and each panel was after the 4 elements. So here we have water, the element of water, and that was the crisis of the people on the sea, what we have still. And the refugee crisis. And here we have a work which is after Hiroshima, Mon Amour, so it's about the nuclear power. And this is the pollution in the air. And this is the Kuwait war, how Radenko in Bosnia saw it on the television screen. So each of these big panels was exhibited there, and we were very happy that the Volkwang Museum in Essen, they bought these 4 pieces for their collection. And if you go a little bit around here, you see another series of him. So this is 365. This is a series where he was always doing 1 watercolor a day after one event of the 20th century that took place at that date. So here you can see, this is in 2017, it was shown at 2015, it was shown at the Kunsthalle in Darmstadt.
And at the Biennale in Venice in that year, you could also see a movie, an animated movie by Radenko, right?
Yeah.
So there are several approaches to moving images by Radenko.
So Katja unframed the work now. And here we can see the the signature by Radenko. You can see the paper. It's a very thick paper.
Yeah, with a wonderful texture. This typical watercolor paper. It's not completely white. It's this ivory color, a beautiful, organic, warm white.
So, and now you can really better have an impression of the texture. So I go with you to see every angle of it. It's beautiful, huh? It's very nice.
Yeah, from 2 meters, a distance of 2 meters, sometimes people still think it's a photograph. Not only this work, but also other works by Radenko. And then coming closer, you see that it was really translated into painting, and the image changes with this process of painting, because it's slow. It's not just pushing one button or just stopping a film at one moment, but it's really a process when such an image develops on the paper, and it's much more organic. It becomes really human, and it's really loaded with emotions and with a kind of tenderness, because imagine the brush with the color striking the paper and adding again and again a layer of color, because a watercolor is really built up in layers. So the darkest parts have been painted over and over again, and the white parts have never felt the touch of the brush. So it's really a very sensual way to make an image. And nowadays there are so many images produced every second, or a super high-speed camera can produce billions of images in 1 second. And this kind of image takes a while. And also it's a still from a movie. And what's so interesting about this, with one single image we can maybe remember a full movie if we saw it, or we can imagine a movie as we remembered it, so it might change in our memory, or if we haven't seen it, we can imagine a story behind, which is completely open, which can be our own story, our personal story. So a wonderful thing about this image.
Oops.
And Monica Vitti became, as I said, became very famous with this role in this movie, and there was even an Italian postage stamp with a still from this movie, because it won the jury prize at the film festival in Cannes in the same year, in 1960. And it's really a masterpiece. But this very still from the film is hard to find. I mean, Radenko often finds his images in archives. He researches a lot, or he finds it in the internet, because as soon as an image became famous or public, you can find it. Nowadays it's multiplied in the internet. And sometimes I Google them. Sometimes I find them easily by just entering the title. But this very still, I couldn't find it on the internet. So I find other shots from the same scene, from the same sequence, where she's standing on the border of the sea and looking to the landscape, to the horizon. But I couldn't find this very image. So this makes it very special.
In fact, Radenko, he is as well, selecting all the iconic images, or the images we're living in this time where we are full of images. We are looking through thousands of images each day, and he is picking out some of them and with the transformation of these images into watercolor to bring them in the next level, and we looking at them, it's like the memory of our common brain, of our common picture brain. And I think it's very, very interesting that art as well has this function of memorizing things or bringing, changing our perception on things. And in regard to this, Radenko, I think, is a very, very important artist, and it's always fascinating to see what he picks out of this flood of images that we are surrounded with all the time.
Yeah, but every viewer or the lucky person who wants to buy this work, for example, and keep it at home and keep it as a permanent offer of energy and atmosphere and mood and beauty, can make it really someone's own, because these images that are worldwide known, they make up not only, if it's a political image, it's not only making up our consciousness of history, of really the world, but an image like this can influence our notion of beauty, of a personal destiny, of a personal situation, of a personal, a mental state maybe, and or our idea of a love story.
Yeah, and it can make us dream as well.
Yeah.
And we need so much dreams, especially in this moment.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, you have a lot of art history in there. So when I look at these hands, I have the impression I'm in 16th century, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course, because the avant-garde filmmakers always have a lot of images already in their mind when they make a movie.
Yeah.
So there are many, many quotes on several steps. And it's a very typical image for its own time, but it can be taken really into our time. Also, this young woman looks into a distance, and that's something which is hard to reach for us at this moment, because we have to stay where we are. So this can also make us dream in this way. There's light and shadow. I mean, we have the positive and maybe also a lot of courage in this gaze of this young woman, but also the melancholic and the thoughtful side. It's really open to different states of mind that we might have on different days. Sometimes when I wake up and see a work of art in my place, it makes me happy, or it can make me, can just maybe accentuate my own mood. So it's always also a mirror. And these works, very, very good works of art, they keep this this power and this possibilities. So this is a work that we chose today, and we really want to recommend it for whoever watches.
So, and Radenko, are you still watching? Can you give me a sign? I hope you are satisfied with what we said so far about your piece of work. We were thinking that in regards to this pick of the day, I think it's very important that we pick out one work. That we normally, when we're doing exhibitions or even when we are on the fair, we're often speaking about a lot of works and at the same time, and then we compare them. But this is we try to get an intimate idea, one-to-one idea about one artwork. And
maybe we should also add some facts, and maybe there could, if we have visitors in the gallery, of course, if someone's interested, the next question is, how much is this work? How can I buy it? Does it come with a frame? And how how can you send it or something? Maybe we can just answer these questions before they are.
We can show our web shop, for example.
Yeah.
So let's
that's
do that.
one of the means to get this.
Oops. So we are here on our website, so PRISKA PASQUER, and then you click in the middle.
PRISKAPASQUER.art.
Yeah.
And then you click in the upper center on the name, and the second line is already the shop. There you have, of course, more works, also more works by Radenko from the same series, Endless Movie.
But
and
here
you have Monica Vitti.
And click on it, please.
So you see a larger image.
So here you can see it, and here you have the
details.
Yeah.
And the price is 2,856, and this includes the VAT. The measurement is 50.5 centimeters in the height and 36.5 centimeters in the width.
I think what is interesting as well about Radenko, I'm just thinking about this series Endless Movie. So he was always doing, in his whole career, he was always working with a lot of works that from movies. And he studied in Belgrade art. And in Belgrade is one of the most important film museums in the world. I didn't know that. My husband and I, we were together with Radenko and his wife and his daughter in Belgrade, and then he has shown us this film museum, which is amazing. And then they have a very big and very important Goethe Institute. So when Radenko was studying, he was always in this film museum, and he was always at the Goethe Institute. So he learned a lot about German art and German art history. He was reading Kunstforum and all the magazines at that time. So I think it's very, very interesting. And Radenko is a fantastic artist and a very, very good person. I like him very much. He is very concentrated. He is very open-minded, and he's very intellectual and very warm-hearted, and at the same time he's somebody who works always together with a lot of people. And even in his end of the world, he organized biennales already with other artists. And then when he did this University of Disaster project for Venice Biennale, for the Bosnian-Herzegovina pavilion, he invited other artists to join him. He worked together with Christopher Idre, as he was the curator of this pavilion. Christopher is a very good friend of him and very great guy from Paris, and so I think he's very well connected, and he's very open-minded and very warm person. And I think we should show this again. Katja, would you mind, please, just take the camera? Yeah, because I want to.
Oh yeah, that's the catalog from the big show in Hamburg at the Deichtorhallen last summer, Hyper, A Journey into Art and Music. And it was curated by Max Dax, who used to be chief editor of one of the most famous pop music magazines in Germany, Spex, among many, many other things that he has done. And Radenko contributed a group of 31 works on the threshold of music and image. So many, many iconic images, Nixon and Elvis, or show the other side, Donald Trump and Kanye West, Bob Dylan and Barack Obama, or the famous alien band from Star Wars movie. So also music, art and movies overlap.
But now we are showing more pictures. We don't want to show more
just
pictures. It was
a glance.
Yeah. That's always what we are doing when we are showing things. We are showing thousand things, but we want to concentrate on this work. So, yeah, please have a look at it. Maybe I show the back again. The verso of this piece.
Why I also chose this one, or why I like this one so much, I mean, I know now that it's Monica Vitti and I know the movie, but sometimes the images are very, very famous, so it gives an immediate moment of recognition, and sometimes it's not so obvious, and this is the case with this image, so it's really open to see, different persons, or that to have this guess which is so suggestive and so more opening a door than giving an answer.
So I think we are where we wanted to be. We don't want to do this more than 30 minutes. So just a last view on it. So the possibility to buy this piece is, or you call us, you send us an email, or you go to our website. Here again the website. You go in the middle, you go to the shop, you open this, you see the price. Shall we tell the price as well? It's 2,856 euros, including 90% VAT. Of course, if you are outside of Germany,
outside of the EU,
outside of the EU, you don't need to pay the 90% VAT. So then it means it's 2,400 then. And if you buy it now in the next time, I would say that we make the shipping free. The frame will be included, excluded. So this is up to you how you would like to frame it. We can send it without frame, which is of course easier for us and for you as well.
If you're nearby and you prefer to have it framed and you don't want to have the hassle with getting it framed, of course we can assist you and propose a framer or a way of framing it. So that's our typical job and service as a gallery, that we can help with these technical details.
Exactly. And then I wanted to show you one thing. So here is the shop, and so the last time we sold something in our shop was on April 20. So I told you already, we are often selling through our shop, and I think that in this Corona times, it will be more and more important to work like in these like this.
Yeah, important for us to have this opportunity to offer works through internet, but also important for the collectors, or for those who want to start to collect, or who really feel that they need something inspiring at home, where we spend so much time now. For those who want to buy something, it's also an easy way and a direct way and a good way to reach us and to buy art without traveling too much in the world.
So this was it for today. Next Friday we will come back to you with this channel, and on Tuesday you can we have at 2:00 we have a very nice talk with Albrecht Schäfer, with the artist Albrecht Schäfer, and on Wednesday we speak with Uta Rukamp, the curator of the Kunstmuseum Wolfsburg, about Peter Hugo. She did the retrospective of Peter Hugo. And on Thursday we speak with Viba. She's an Indian artist, and I'm very curious to know what is going on in India at the moment. So, and on Friday we are back with our next pick of the week. Thank you very much for looking. Bye bye.
Have a nice 1st May.